I know you're going to find it hard to believe, but yes, there is water falling from the sky and has been. Somebody posted on Facebook this morning that they felt like they got the 3 weeks of rain we didn't have in about 30 minutes last night.
Well, that might have been in the mountains.
There was some rain. It's rained pretty hard around here.
Last 24 hours in the mountains have been flooding.
And there's water standing around on the roads and stuff. And I came in this morning, went out and got something to drink in different places. We ain't seen water standing in a while.
Yeah.
It'll help
all winter.
It'll help my crunchy grass. I'll put it that way.
This is a welcome rain. First one
yes,
we've had.
It is.
First welcome rain we've had in a while. But yeah,
a little cooler today, but you're going to pay that price come this weekend. It's heating back up, low 90s.
Well, after all, it is July 4th.
It is. It is.
July 4th weekend.
You got to kind of take it in stride. That's kind of the way that it works. But we'll take it. We'll take the rain when we can get it. That's the other thing about it.
Our problem is July, August, September.
Oh, I know.
They all feel the same.
Those 90s will last into September.
Sure. If not October.
That's not uncommon. Not uncommon
and
at all.
And the humidity is just as bad, too.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing. July seems to always be the hottest, though. If we're going to get,
I always thought August was.
I think if we go over 100, I think you'd see more days have been in July in history. But it doesn't matter. To me, if it's 85 and humid, it's all the same.
It's just as bad.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
All the same.
Of course, when they talk about that Arizona, Las Vegas dry heat, 115 still 115. Ask those people up in the Pacific Northwest.
You got a dry heater in here. It gets hot.
I do have a dry heater.
It gets hot.
I do have a dry heater. I had to think about that for just a minute. Steve Lowe, good morning. Four, good morning. Four is on his way. Was by earlier this morning. This was some sad news that came out yesterday. Former Bulldog Miami Hurricane coach Mark Richt has got Parkinson's disease. He revealed it on his Twitter.
But what a statement he made. Did you see his statement?
Truthfully, I look at it as a momentary light affliction compared to the future glory in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesus, for promising us a future blessing of a glorified body with no sin and no disease. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy the blessings that I do have and see you on the ACC network. 61 years old. He mentioned in his tweet that he has been waddling around lately and that people have been asking what was wrong. He explained that disclosing his condition allowed him to tell everyone at the same time. If you're not familiar, Parkinson's is a progressive nervous system disorder that affects movement. Symptoms typically start with tremors, which can worsen as a condition progresses over time. Thoughts and prayers out to Mark Richt. Stacey Jones, good morning. Andrew, good morning. Our good friend Tommy Dellinger has Parkinson's, and he made a hike across the United States, which he'll never do again, based on what he said.
That's his words, right?
Yes, that was his words. He did not know what he was thinking when he saw something about that on TV, and he said, that would be a great idea. Not anymore. But, yeah.
Well, could you imagine doing it in today's temperatures? Think about that. And I'm sure he ran into some of that, no matter what time of year it was. I think it was in the –
Did he start late fall?
It seemed like it.
It seemed like it was.
There's still some states, though, that could be hot.
Milton, good morning. Glad to have you with us as too. Another thing that happened, just a couple of headlines here. Phil Mickelson says he won't enter the Detroit tournament again after a newspaper report.
I have not seen that.
Okay. He entered the Rocket Mortgage Classic this week in Detroit for the first time in the event's 3-year history. But he said on Thursday it'll be his last appearance because he won't return because they published a story in the Detroit News. They obtained federal court records from 2007. Okay.
That's some digging right there.
Detailing how a Michigan-based bookie allegedly cheated Mickelson out of $500,000 on a bet. Now, wasn't any wrongdoing or anything. And Mickelson said, it was so much effort for me to be here and have this type of unnecessary attack. I don't understand why I keep saying 20 years ago, but not like I care. It's just the lack of appreciation. Yeah, I don't see that happening, and I don't see me coming back. Not that I don't love the people here. They've been great, but not with that type of thing happening. Now, he went on to say, I'm disappointed they would curiously pick this week to write an article about a bet that I made and a jury trial that the bet was made over 20 years ago. The jury trial wasn't until 2007.
Okay.
And the guy who was convicted, not Mickelson, the guy that was convicted that did the wrongdoing is dead. So the only reason to do the article was to embarrass Mickelson. You couldn't have found you couldn't have put an article in about him being the oldest major champion winner.
Why? Okay, I don't know the whole story, but the first thing I wondered, why was the other guy in trouble? What did he do? What was different? He
cheated. There wasn't something. I guess.
So it's okay to bet. No problem with the betting.
Not in PGA.
Okay. I mean, I'm just wondering. You know.
Yep. I'm assuming. But Mickelson did shoot a 69, marking the 6th time he's been under par out of 11 rounds since he became the oldest major winner back in May.
Wouldn't it have been a worse story for Mickelson, though, if it was him that did the cheating?
Absolutely.
I mean, it was like.
I mean, I don't understand. I'm kind of like him. Why did you?
He might have been better off just ignoring it.
Why did you need to bring that up? Why did
the rider or Mickelson?
The rider.
Or both,
rider. Yeah.
Well, the rider, I mean, he's doing the rider's job.
He's
right,
looking for clicks.
Right. He's doing the rider's job.
I guess the part that I don't understand is where's the relevancy to it?
Yeah. Why wasn't it 10 years ago when he wrote it? Well, you know, maybe he's just waiting on the right time. I don't know. Maybe he thinks this is Mickelson's final round anyway.
No. That was not his plan until he wrote the article.
Well, I know, but I mean, at his age, he's going to be hitting the senior tour soon.
They're in Michigan, and this bookie was from Michigan.
Yeah.
But that's still I don't mind.
The timing he waited to Mickelson was the oldest, you know.
And that's what Mickelson said.
Maybe he's been working on the story for 3 or 4 years. Who knows?
Jack, good morning.
But if I'm Mickelson and that comes out, I'm sure he got asked about it in press conferences and things. But I just ignore it.
And if he tried to ignore it, they would just press it harder.
Yeah, I know it.
You know that.
That's the way it is, the way it works.
Another top headline story, one day after college athletes were granted the rights to profit off their names, image, and likeness, former Southern Cal running back Reggie Bush made it clear he believes the Heisman Trophy he won in 2005 should be returned and his college statistics reinstated. What do you think?
I would have probably never took it away to begin with. And
here's
especially the stats,
my thing. This is my
thing.
This is my thing. What he took or inappropriate benefits had nothing to do with his performance.
Right.
Okay? That's the way I look at it.
Me too. Just like Pete Rose on the baseball side, his baseball playing days.
Reggie Bush says, it's my strong belief that I won the Heisman Trophy solely due to my hard work and dedication on the football field, and it's also my firm belief that my records should be reinstated. Bush returned it after a 4-year extra benefits investigation determined that he and his family members, while he was a student, accepted cash, travel expenses, and a home in San Diego where his parents lived rent-free for more than a year and were provided $10,000 to furnish. Here's the thing. And he was also had a disassociation period. He couldn't have anything to do with the university for 10 years. Here's the thing. He just happened to be the one that got caught.
I was going to say, the only difference between him
and
a lot of other winners.
He got caught.
I mean, you and I have talked about that before.
I don't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a bad look. Don't get me wrong. It's a bad look. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't think I mean, that's just like you revoking these national championships from these teams. Guess what? They still won it. I still remember that they still won it, you know, and I'm not going to leave it that year
like
void.
We talked about with NC State, had they won that game against Vanderbilt and then been DQ'd because of the COVID, they still beat Vanderbilt. You couldn't let Vanderbilt go on. It's the same. Right. It's the same kind of thing.
Yep. I don't think any sport will ever let a team that lost on the field advance.
I think it's a bad look on both sides for that one. That's a bad look for both of them on the way I look at it.
I saw that fine pop up on there for those 3 teams. What did they do in OT? What can you do? How can you violate rules in OT?
Okay, here's what he's talking about. The NFL's fined 3 teams: the Jaguars, the 49ers, and the Cowboys. The Jags were fined $200,000, Urban Meyer $100,000, 49ers $100,000, Kyle Shanahan $50,000. And the Cowboys were fined $100,000 and Mike McCarthy $50,000. Now, other penalties could include NFL Management Council ordering the 49ers to cancel the final week of OTAs. The Cowboys were ordered to forfeit 1 OTA practice during the first week of the 22 season. The Jaguars were ordered to forfeit 2 OTA practice during the first week of the 22 season. Now, The Jaguars
whole
have
week.
said in a statement that the club is vigilant about practicing within the CBA rules and will reemphasize off-season training rules as they relate to contact. We're looking forward to the start of training camp later this month.
So what is it they did?
It doesn't
Did
say.
they go outside the timelines? The 2 hours a day, whatever it may be. And somebody's got to be ratting this information out, right? Or is there a spy at every training camp from the NFL?
I don't know.
And of course, if there is an NFL executive or whatever working at these training camps, wouldn't you know it? And you'd know not to do anything out of the ordinary. And maybe the teams just didn't care. They don't care if they get a week off. I don't know.
How do you feel about it?
Well, that's the reason you have CBAs. I mean, and quite honestly, how would I feel about it? I think you ought to be able to practice as much if you want to. If your franchise wants to practice 24 hours a day, it's up to you. Go ahead. If you think that gives you an edge and you get better, go ahead. But when the rules are in place, you have to abide by them. And they're in place for good reason, I would say. Most of them. Not all, but most of them.
I have an issue with some of them because I don't think there's enough off-season work.
Oh, there's not.
And that's why
there's not even
that's
enough
why you have some of these
in-season
injuries.
work.
That's why you have some of these injuries.
There's not even enough in-season work. You don't, the teams, the athletes are better, but the play's not as sharp as it was 20 years ago.
Well, not to get deep into the season because it's a tune-up.
And last year was really different.
Yeah. But I have a little problem. I have a little problem with that one. My bigger question is, are you surprised that Urban Meyer led the way with violating a rule?
No, not at all. I mean, and these are three very well-known coaches.
And he's going to do whatever he can do. He's going to push it as far as he can push it because he wants to win.
But let me ask you this. What if you find out that it's a player in your organization that reported that, hey, I don't even know if that's what it is, that we went over the time limit. Maybe it's something they didn't even realize they were doing. But if somebody's ratting you out, are you going to cut them? You know what I mean? If it's a player that's saying, hey, we went 30 minutes over today.
Let me put it this way. I don't think they cut them unless it's a player that is expendable. It's kind of like if you've got a player that gets in trouble in the offseason, depending upon where he is in the pecking order, depends on whether he's still there.
Stay.
Yeah. And that's on any level.
Right.
That's not just NFL.
Right.
It's
any
not
sport.
just pro. It's pro, college, high school. I don't care what it is in any sport.
But I might make it a little tougher on that guy. But then again, you have to be careful with that too, because guess what? They're going to come right back at you, and say, go ahead and cut me, and guess what happens?
Now,
more
here's
information.
another interesting thing I think is going to happen. I guess I need to say NIL. That's easier. The NIL, BYU's got a little different rules. They've got to follow the university's honor code standards, which prohibits alcohol, tobacco, and even coffee.
Oh,
because BYU is a little different in what their beliefs and stuff are.
I'm a big BYU fan, but I'd have a hard time going there.
Along with standard items such as no compensation for athletic accomplishments. Well, if you're being compensated for an endorsement, it's because of your athletic contributions, not because, you wear number 14 and you never step on the field. So you can't really say that. But BYU's policy prohibits athletes from entering business partnerships with entities that violate the honor code, which includes university dress and grooming standards. So they have a dress code on campus at BYU. Said the honor code requires all male and female students to remain modest, neat, and clean in their dress and appearance, and prohibits sleeveless or revealing attire and shorts or dresses that are cut above the knee. And BYU students are expected to abstain from coffee, tea, alcohol, and tobacco.
I'm totally okay with that because that's their rules, and you know it coming in. You don't have to go there. You know what I mean? So
my question is, will it hurt them moving forward? Because it's limiting who they can get endorsement deals from.
It may on a minor level. I don't think it hurts BYU much. I mean, they don't go after, okay, Zach Wilson could have made a lot of money this past year as quarterback, but coming in, I don't think they have the 5-star athletes that think they're going to come in and make money off endorsements right away. So I don't think it really hurts.
And here's the other one. All agreements for BYU athletes must first be reviewed by athletic administrators. The schools need to stay out of it. It's kind of like that separation of church-state thing. There needs to be a separation.
Different here. It's totally church.
But you're going to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Then the school's going to start getting involved, and it's going to get muddied, I think.
There'll be something down the road. That causes a lawsuit on one side or the other.
Do you agree? Do you agree that the NCAA could have really kicked this can way down the road if they hadn't been so hard-headed and worked on something to put in place before their hand was forced? Because they just kept saying, "It's just not going to happen. We're above this. It's not going to happen."
Yeah, I guess I don't know what the straw was that broke the camel's back and what put them over the edge. I don't know what the
lawsuits and then the Supreme Court.
And they got tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
They got tired of dealing with it and knew they were going to have to deal with it from now on. So that's my guess.
I heard yesterday, and I cannot remember who the athlete's name is. There is I'm assuming college gymnast, because they're Olympic gymnasts, has 4 million followers on Instagram. That'll immediately be a deal. That will be a deal.
A gymnast,
mm-hmm.
Simone Biles.
I don't think it was. I mean,
that'd be my first thought,
yeah.
But not necessarily, I guess. But did you hear Darren Ravel's top 3? They, I don't know if it's Dan Patrick, Colin Cowher. Somebody asked him who he thought would be the top in the past. Who would have made the most off of this kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear his top 3? You probably guessed number 1.
Let me think about it just a minute.
You probably guessed number 1. All 3 have played within the last 20 years, and one of them I can't even remember. I remember 1 and 2. I'd have to think a minute on number 3. And then one that only played 4 months in college was mentioned a little later on, not in the top 3. But
Kyrie?
Well, no, Zion.
Zion Williamson.
In basketball. The other 3 were football. And one was Tebow.
Yes.
He thought, but with the amount of jerseys Tebow sold, that he would have benefited the most. Number 2, he had Reggie Bush. And number 3, I can't remember. I can't recall who number 3 was. Oh, I do remember. Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
He said Johnny Manziel was big-time college.
But he did.
Yeah, he did.
He did anyway.
He worked it out.
Yeah, he worked it out. He got it to work out. Let me take a time out, and then we'll come back with some other things in a story that I heard yesterday. A couple comments before we go. Richie said, I saw where King and a couple other Miami Hurricane players have signed deals worth $20K, the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Steven said Jackson State football players were the first to sign a deal yesterday, and 3 more are expected. Richie said Baycott from UNC signed a deal with Jimmy's Famous Seafood. And Hobbs asked you this question, Keever, and this is one of the ones I want to get to. Do you see this trickling down? High school kids wanting to be paid for their images, photos from games, those kind of things. Let me take a break, and I'm going to go there because that topic has already come up with a high school athlete that's got 2 years left to play. More in a minute.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. I apologize. We were wallowing down a rabbit hole. Brandon Eichert said Miami had their quarterback and others signed yesterday for a moving company in Florida. TJ, good morning. Stephen Lowe said that the Jackson State defensive end signed at 12 a.m. Thursday morning, July 1st. Brandon said, my new favorite thing to do is see all the athletes posting on social media, almost begging for a chance to make some money. Some of these guys aren't even the backup to the backup. And that's where Ford thinks that the rub's going to come from. That's where you're going to have a kid that sues a coach or a university because you didn't let me play. You took away my ability to earn money. I'm not sure on that. We'll just have to wait and see. Miss Kay, good morning.
Well, that ought to be stopped. Just
you would hope
immediately. You can't sue the university because you didn't get playing time.
You would hope, but stranger things have happened. All right, here's where I was going, okay? And this is Darren Ravel also made mention of this. There's 2 years before Arch Manning can get into college. He's a 5-star quarterback making his rounds.
Wonder where he got that ability.
Darren Ravel says, and he covers the business of sports for the Action Network, he told Dan Patrick that Manning could make as much as $10 million as a college freshman.
Wow. Wow, that would be hard not to pursue, would it not?
You buying it?
$10 million. I can't say he couldn't, because is it not the most popular name? One of the most popular names anyway in the history of football. Last names
will be,
But I just mean last name now.
Don't they consider that the royal family?
I guess
of football?
so. I mean, you've had 3 NFL quarterbacks, father, 2 sons, maybe even a third son if injuries don't take him out. And he is the son of the Cooper that didn't
the one that got injured
because of injury. Yeah. So you know what, you kind of want to see him be really good because of Cooper didn't make it. Whether you're a Manning fan or not, but
now
I could see him making.
Oh, I could too.
He's going to be very popular. Let's put it that way.
Tommy Tuberville, who's now Senator Tommy Tuberville, former Ole Miss Auburn coach, big-time football coach, made the statement that he worries players might be enticed to go to bigger schools where they can make more money, involving agents, lawyers, and etc. Now, he said he realized the point he was trying to make was already an issue. There's a reason why the best recruits come to the SEC. If they can't get into an SEC, they go to Clemson, Florida State, Ohio State, It didn't take long for social media to chime in on Tuberville's comments.
Well, let me ask you, the first thing I thought when you read those comments right there, what are the rules changed about an agent? You still can't have an agent, right, as amateur status?
Let me give you the circumvent. If maybe you weren't listening earlier in the week, I got a press release from the Charlotte 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
They have partnered with a company to assist players in building their brands and doing those things. Is that not agent?
I don't know. I don't know how you would determine a difference.
They're not doing it for fun.
Right.
They're getting paid.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting a percentage.
Yeah.
And getting paid for their services. So why is that any different? The only difference is what makes the agent wrong is because they're pulling for a specific team. You know what I'm saying? That's where the agent comes in.
Yeah.
But to me, if I were Charlotte, I would have just stayed away from it. You're really starting to get this mixed, and it's going to turn out bad if you do not have some arm length things going on. I just think it's going to be bad.
Well, you think this could possibly ruin college athletics for the future, turn people against it?
Four think so.
Some people watch college sports because of the amateurism and the loyalty for the school and wanting, and that's
I'm not buying that anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that's why they watched it, though. That's why people started watching it, right? Mm-hmm. The loyalty to the school and things like that. Well, yeah, with the transfer portal, that's definitely gone. But they won't watch pro sports.
I watch it all.
I do too.
But I have to admit, I enjoy college sports much more because, in my opinion, the amount of effort put forth by college athletes is far superior to pro athletes. And I don't care what it is. I enjoy college basketball much more than I enjoy the NBA. I'm not a baseball fan, but I enjoy college baseball much more than I enjoy Major League Baseball. Now, college football and NFL is pretty head-to-head to me.
Right, it is.
I enjoy both.
I do too.
But I can watch a Division II, or FCS, a good Division II or FCS good programs, just as much as I want to see Ohio State or Alabama
and
play.
I think those guys play even harder.
I do too.
Than
Absolutely.
The D1,
Yes.
Because the number one, a lot of the guys at the D1 level, the ability's always been there, and they hadn't had to work as hard to be the kind of player they are. Those D2 guys, and even a lot of the the non-FCS guys, the non-Power Fives. I mean that will go through the same thing, have to work for what they get.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know how you and I, we had that list about 3 or 4 years ago about all the schools that you might as well put in one bracket.
Yes,
There's maybe 20.
Yeah.
Might as well go to that now.
See, I've said that.
Might as well go to that now.
And I said this yesterday. I said, and I've said this for a long time. Major college sports, football and basketball, there are some teams that just need to be a club team that represents that university, so the university can ha because it's so far removed from a true amateur.
It's about those 20.
Yeah,
that we named.
Saying.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, half the SEC, and then you got to throw in Clemson, and you got to throw in Florida State and Miami, and that's what it's all about. And you know what? Once these schools get a taste of how they can revenue from this too, make more revenue from all this, it's going to even change more. And it's going to be
right
more.
Right now, I think the schools are okay with it because it doesn't affect their cash flow. Okay.
I think it's going to, like we said a while ago, it's going to improve your top 20 programs. They're only going to get better.
Now, Kerry, good morning. TJ said that Jay Billis, love Billis.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I love his perspective. He's an attorney, so he knows both sides.
He don't hold back either.
No, he doesn't. That's why I like him. Jay Billis said that the universities are going to jump on board at some point, as this will be a new revenue stream for the university. Player does a commercial and wants to wear their college jersey, then the university will have to agree to it and will get a cut of the money.
That's what happened, and it won't take long either.
Why? That's not any different than what started all this when the college players say you can't use my name in that college video game without me getting compensation. That's what started
I wonder
this.
why the rule's even in there to begin with, that you can't wear anything with the college name on it. Why would that be? Why is that part of the ruling on this?
What do you mean?
These guys can do their commercials, they can do whatever and make money, but they can't wear anything with the college name on it.
Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't wear anything with the college name on it.
It's because it's copyrighted.
Well, I guess
they're going to want to get paid.
Right. But,
everybody wants to get paid.
But how long is it going to take till they say, we'll give you 25%, the college, 25%?
They're going to have to do it now if they want to wear it.
I know, but okay.
So
how many of these kids are recognizable without wearing it?
Go back to this. How do you revenue split a kid's jersey?
You mean him wearing it in the ad? Just
No. Clemson wants to sell Trevor Lawrence jerseys.
I don't know. That's a good one.
They want to sell whoever's jersey.
And that's coming soon too. Why wouldn't it come soon?
They're selling them now.
Yeah. Do you know how many?
So now is it going to change? Is that going to change because the universities?
They have to.
They're going to say.
I think that's part of this.
You can't sell his jersey with his name.
That's what brought all this about.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's going to change. Yeah. That's going to change. I don't know how much they give this. I think it's. What do you think it's got to be? 50-50?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't it be a 50-50 split? I think it would. I think the player,
I'm like you.
I think both are just as deserving as the other.
I'm like you in that. Where is the value? There's not value without the other side.
That's what I'm saying.
There's not value to his name without it being on his jersey.
College basketball's different. You know why? You don't wear a helmet over your face all the time.
Yeah.
So those guys are recognizable to the public. Most college football
people
players
still want those jerseys.
They do, but without wearing Clemson on the front,
you recognize the player.
Yeah, right. He's not near as popular without that.
But the marketability of a player's jersey is not as marketable without his name on it.
True.
And the player's name is not as marketable without the jersey to put it on.
Right.
So I mean
it works for both parties, and that's why I'm saying this is not going to last long. That you can't wear the school's name. I just don't think this part of it's going to last long. It's people are going to do this for 6 months and say, "Well, this is crazy." I sell a jersey, a Trevor Lawrence jersey for $100. Clemson gets 50. Trevor gets 50. That's pretty simple. You think how many would sell on campus? How many? Like you said, how many did sell on campus? That's what brought all this about. The kids wanting their part.
On July the 1st, NCAA athletes were allowed to receive compensation for use of their name, image, likeness for the first time, and King was one of the first athletes to take advantage. He and Florida State quarterback Mackenzie Milton became the co-founders and public faces of Dreamfield, a company specializing in booking live appearances for student athletes. Dreamfield will also offer non-fungible tokens. Now, do you know what that is?
No.
That's like Bitcoin. It's to skirt the tax side.
Right.
Digital artworks that cannot be duplicated and are purchased with cryptocurrency.
That won't last long. Government's going to get their part.
Wow.
Right? Government's not going to do without their part.
That is amazing.
I mean, there's prime example, Derek King. I saw his picture a while ago, but I would not have recognized him without that number 1 on in that green and orange. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is with football players, even NFL players. You know the more popular ones when you see their face, but for the most part, they got to have that jersey on with that name on the back or that number at least to recognize them.
This is not. Let's put it this way. This is not what I wanted. Okay, this is not what I wanted.
What? What do you mean?
I wanted this to be much simpler.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. Nothing can be made simple.
I did not want this. I go back. I keep going back to me when I was in school, and kids didn't have money to go buy a beer because we could buy a beer when you was 18. When I was in school.
Right. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know.
And you couldn't work a part-time job.
You can't even eat a bag of chips that belong to the school after 7 o'clock at night.
Can't give them a ride.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so
that's crazy.
That was the stuff that was just stupid. But
this part, here's the sad part about this to me, okay? Your Derek Kings and your Trevor Lawrences and you know, they're going to benefit from this. But how many kids on the team aren't going to benefit at all? You know what I mean? They're still not going to have money.
That's why I like the stipend.
Right. They're still not going to have money to do anything with. You know, this is going to benefit 12 to 15 players on your top 10 teams. Right.
And the other side, based on the Supreme Court ruling, you're not going to be able to put a cap on what these kids can earn.
Right. I just, you know.
Free market.
Yeah. So what do you do? What if you are a D1 player? You know, think about this. Let's say you're a pretty good player, a 3 or 4 star, and you can go play at Alabama or Clemson or Georgia and what you might as well refer to as big market schools, right? Or you can go to South Florida, Central Florida, and be the man.
See, going back to your point of expanding the playoffs, we'll start to stretch that talent pool a little bit because I can go to University A because they're close. I can be the man and get an opportunity.
And I'm going to get my money because on that campus I am the man.
That's exactly right.
We may not be as big a market as your school.
And I'm going to get my exposure for making it to the league.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are benefits from that. Let me give you a couple comments and then we'll take a break. Hobbs said, I see this coming. I'm Lanny Ford, projected first-round pick in the Major League Draft. And when I go to the movies, I go to the theater, and before I go, I eat at the Trickle-Down. And then he says, and what happens if Lanny wears his West Lincoln baseball jersey? You know, all this stuff is connected. Richie said, have you seen the new cover of Sports Illustrated? It's a picture of a football team, Miami. The names on the back of the jerseys say mine, and the jersey numbers have been changed to dollar signs. That's pretty good, Richie. I have not seen that.
I haven't either. That's a school that could really benefit from this, Miami, because of where they are.
It's part of his deal for
instead
name
of cash.
image.
I mean, what's the difference in cash?
Whatever compensation he wants. Bill Klein, good morning. Take a break. Be back in just a moment.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Stifel Nicholas now has an office in your community. Stifel Nicholas is a full-service organization offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. These include money market funds, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, annuities, retirement plans, and managed accounts, to name a few. Our financial advisors will sit down with you and help you tailor an investment plan, explaining strategies and investments which may help you achieve your personal goals. Call 4Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC and the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, while you were away, Kiva and I worked out all the details.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to ask a question because we're not sure. TJ says H&R Block coming to a college campus near you. Yeah. Kerry Edwards says, will college warm-ups look like a NASCAR driver's uniform? That's coming because there's already been talk about sponsorship badges and stuff.
Not only is H&R Block coming to that campus, Lanny, but so is IRS.
Yeah, and that's the part. There's I don't think everybody, well, I don't think the athletes understand the repercussions of coming into the big boy world by taking money above the table.
Well, they obviously won't realize that making $50 off of a jersey sale is really only making $25.
There's a comedian.
Right.
There's a comedian that talked about when kids are trick-or-treating, that's an ideal time to teach them about what the world's really like. So
take 2/3 of their candy.
Yeah. He said, the kid comes in with the candy and getting ready to start. So now, wait a minute, we have to make sure that we do this the right way. He said the first thing we're going to take is a Social Security tax, and we're going to put that up here on the refrigerator, and you'll have that when you get older. And then he says, and then we're going to – oh, wait a minute. I'm wrong. That's Grandpa's candy. Your grandchildren will be getting your Social Security candy. And then federal and state, and he finally gets down to where there's one piece of candy, okay? And he said, oh, you're going to eat that now? And he takes a big bite of it and says, here, sales tax. And that's, they don't think
That's the way the world operates.
Richie said there probably needs to be a class on taxes, basic accounting, money management. They don't teach them that now. I mean,
No,
that should have always been part of it.
And they're going to skip that class.
That should have always been part of it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to kind of mention a little bit, and maybe somebody out there can clarify this. David and I were discussing it, but we weren't sure. The transfer portal. Can you go into the transfer portal, go anywhere you want to without any kind of restrictions? Because I told David that's the next lawsuit coming is you can't restrict the player's free movement because, as Ford talks about, you're restricting my ability to make money, and the Supreme Court has said you can't do that. Mm-hmm. They're going to ponytail off of that, and is that the next one that's coming? You're going to have to let these players move wherever they want to move?
Can you imagine a Duke or North Carolina basketball player playing in March for the one you like, and then in the fall he's in that transfer portal. He's playing for the other one. I mean, or Michigan, Ohio State football player, same thing, whatever. I thought all the conferences had waived it, Lanny, and I'm not sure. Maybe somebody out there knows that follows it very closely and has
that's
read
what I'm
more
saying.
details.
I don't.
I thought they had waived where you don't have to sit out at all. You can just go play immediately. And how many kids are in those transfer portals at this point in football and basketball?
Football is about 2,000 at one time.
So I'm going to guess basketball is probably 500-600.
Now I want to think it's 1,000.
Really?
Yeah,
that high, that much more of a percentage? Because 15 basketball players versus 100 football.
I finally found the answer to your question. The number 2 quarterback.
I know who it is.
Kyle Trask.
Yeah.
Did you?
Same high school.
Yeah. Played behind Garrett King at Manville High School in Manville, Texas. Yep. He did not start any games at quarterback after his freshman year.
How'd you like to have a quarterback that good? Trask. That just sits there behind Garrett King. Look, one high school with 2 quarterbacks of that magnitude at the same time. I mean, it's a little different that you have them, back to back or something, but at the same time. And he didn't transfer. He didn't leave.
Well,
Kyle
he was
Trask
older,
didn't leave.
right?
I don't even remember.
I believe that's right.
I don't even remember.
I think that's right because Garrett King is still in college and Kyle Trask is already in the pros.
Right. Well, he is. Yeah, he's hoping to be.
Yeah,
he's on the roster right now. I don't know which one, but he is. He did get drafted.
Kyle Trask.
Yeah.
He is Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
So he'll be
the heir apparent. Possibly.
I would think so.
I don't know who else they've got.
And here's the thing.
The heir apparent there might be 10 years down the road.
Kyle Trask, 6'5", 240.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's that ideal. He was a second-round pick in last year's draft.
Yep. Well, there was a certain times in the season people thought he was the top quarterback. So,
yes.
He's just up and down.
So that will be interesting as well. Brandon says transfer portal will become the buy a chance for a championship. Yeah, rent a player. That's what it's. Yeah.
I still say you're going to have to hire recruiters, or at least 1 or 2, just for the transfer portal.
Staff members.
Yes. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to
evaluate.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have to keep an eye on that all the time. And why not bring in experienced players to fill your voids?
TJ, I've said that all along. TJ said, just like when you hear Cowherd, when he talks about athletes moving to teams, they should always take into consideration whether that state has a income tax. Yep. TJ said, wonder if athletes will be making decisions on college basis upon states with no income tax. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Let me think. Texas, Florida, and California. That's
Tennessee.
3. Tennessee don't have any either?
I don't think so.
But I'm just saying Texas, Florida, California because that's 3 of your big high school bases, right? Mm-hmm. And then they go to those colleges and they don't have – I mean, it's just going to make those teams, like I said, the rich get richer.
9 states Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming.
So the ones I said was Florida, Texas, and maybe I missed one. What was the other one? Florida, Texas, and
Tennessee.
California was the one I said. You said Tennessee.
California's not.
California does have state tax. Okay.
So, does that become a thing?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, that takes away probably 15 to 20% of your pay on the state side.
And, when you look at 19 states, I think it's 19 states, July 1st, had a law that allowed you to do this. The NCAA, that's why they had to come out with their ruling on July 1st, because if they didn't, you'd have kids pouring to these states that allowed it,
right,
and wouldn't go to these other states because they couldn't make any money based on NCAA's rules. And that's why the NCAA had to fall back on their rules.
Just think about this, Lanny. Okay, think about this and think about the state tax, how some of this stuff. Your tourist states are the ones that don't have the state tax because they can make it off tourism.
Right.
But think about this. Now, I did what you did a while ago. I lost my train of thought. It's totally gone.
It's that getting old thing. Okay, it'll come back to you.
It will. I hope it does.
It'll come back to you.
Oh, I know what it was.
Okay.
At one time, you could gamble in Nevada and New Jersey.
That's the only place.
And now look. Now look. I mean, will we see that trickle down as far as, either, I don't know.
Morning, Vanger.
I don't know how many states could actually just waive state tax, though, because they got to have it to operate.
Don't get me started on the gambling. I saw another story this morning that just really bothers me.
Which one?
Kings Mountain's building a casino.
Yeah, it's open.
I understand, not the official one.
No, but
yes,
yeah, temporary is open, right? Open
what
this
makes
week?
that right?
What makes it right?
What makes that right? What makes Cherokee
Well,
right?
I know what you're saying. It should be open to anybody
in the state.
to
That's
do it.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, it should be open to anybody. I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you're a private guy and you want to open a casino right here, do it.
Going back to Florida State's quarterback and Miami's quarterback opening a business, did they not have to have some kind of agent or representation to kind of help them do that?
I guess it all comes down to this, okay? Who's paying who?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, whose business is it actually that, if they're paying a guy to work for them, is that wrong by college rules?
But that's what an agent does.
That's right.
He represents you.
That's right. So, I don't know.
I just think it's muddy. I just think it's really, really muddy, and it's going to get worse because there's no direction. It's just like the internet. How many years did it take before states figured out I'm losing money because if you go buy something from Tennessee, Tennessee doesn't charge you sales tax because the transaction did not occur in that state, and there were no laws that governed internet commerce.
Yep.
So now everybody that sells has to charge sales tax based on where the person lives.
Right.
And just like if you do sales, I have to do sales tax. So if you do sales tax, you have to tell what county you did because that county gets a piece of it. So, but look how many years it took for them to catch up to figure out how to do that. And still there's some things, there's a lot of loopholes out there.
Well, back to what you were saying about somebody paying somebody. Let's say a guy in college. This is very unlikely to happen because of the amount of income. But let's say a guy in college has a part-time job and makes the maximum he can make. Is it okay for him to hire an accountant to do his taxes because that guy's working for him,
but not representing him? He is working for him.
But I could see that being them doing.
Yeah.
I could see them doing.
No.
I could see them doing this Jersey thing the same way, or this income thing the same way. I'm hiring you. You keep my books, but you don't represent me.
I am so interested to see how this thing's going to play out.
And how long will it take before we really know?
Oh,
a year.
We may not live long enough.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I'm
saying.
thinking it's going to be a year before we really know the effect it has. Not on. You know what?
You may scratch the surface, but you're not going to address all the questions and issues that come from it.
I almost don't care as long as it don't affect
The game.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I want to see my games.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly right.
You know.
Let me give you a couple of on this day. How about 1906? The Yanks won by forfeit for the very first time in Major League Baseball.
Does it give the situation?
No, it doesn't. That's the
Well,
only
I
thing
hate that.
tells me.
I'd like to know why they're forfeit.
1911, Ty
It was
Cobb.
COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. Ty Cobb hits his 40th straight game in a 14-6 rout of Cleveland.
Not to mention he hit about 6 Indians in the dugout because he had that kind of bat control.
He didn't have good bat control.
He had great bat control.
Oh.
He could hit them on purpose.
Really?
Oh yeah, he was known for doing that.
Do you remember the great line from Field of Dreams? And by the way, the Field of Dreams baseball game is going to happen this year. You can go watch Major League Baseball on the Field of Dreams.
And they've done that before, right?
Supposed to have been last year.
Is that
COVID
what it was?
knocked it
Okay,
out. That was supposed to be the first year. Yeah.
They've played at They played at Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That's where they played before.
Yeah.
Little League Park. Not actually with 200-foot fences, though.
Right, that's right. Let's see. There's another one here. Where did I find it? 1930, Chicago outfielder Carl Reynolds becomes only the second player in MLB history to hit home runs in 3 consecutive innings, which means you went through the order 3 consecutive innings. Final score, 15-4.
Hardly
White
ever
Sox
do you get the opportunity
victory.
to bat 3 times in 3 innings.
That's right.
He made the best of it.
1933, New York Giant pitcher Carl Hubble works 18 innings of shutout baseball without a walk.
Now I'd take a pitcher 4 games to get 18.
Well, nobody's
innings.
going 18. Yeah, they're not going 18. To beat the Cardinals 1-0.
4 games to get those
Yep.
18 innings in. Yeah.
41, Joe DiMaggio hits a 3-run homer off Boston's Dickie Newsom to pass Willie Keel's major league record of 44-game hitting streak.
Joe dunks his donuts in coffee. You know that, right?
Not at BYU, because you can't.
That's a
I
Kramer
did not
thing.
know
That's
that.
a Kramer
I
thing
know.
on Seinfeld.
I did not know that you could not.
What's coffee? I mean,
It must be the caffeine.
I
Don't
guess.
think because they said T2.
You didn't even
Caffeine
mention
T2.
abstinence.
No.
That's a BYU rule. for athletes.
1961. Amidst 5 New York Yankee homers versus Washington, Roger Maris hits 29 and 30th en route to his 61 for the season.
He was a great one. That's Willie.
Willie in 63 breaks up the classic Juan Marichal versus Warren Spahn pitching duel, homering in the 16th inning.
Wow.
Off Spahn for a 1-0
So he's still going in the
win.
16th. Warren Spahn's still going in the 16th.
They were the Milwaukee Braves back then.
Okay.
Milwaukee Braves.
That's right.
Uh,
They moved around what, 1950? Somebody,
It's in the
that's a
50s.
good question. Late
I don't know.
50s, right? 57 for some reason. comes to mind.
1986, Roger Clemens at 14-0 suffers his first loss, 4-2 versus Toronto, 1 win short of an AL record for consecutive wins to start the season.
In my opinion, still the best power pitcher that I ever saw.
Power pitcher.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'd say he's the best pitcher. He's one of them though, but he was one of the best. He was the best power pitcher I think that I ever saw.
Okay. I forgot about this. This has only been 13 years ago. A settlement's reached allowing former NBA franchise Seattle Supersonics. I thought that was a great name.
Yeah, they need a team back.
Yes, they do.
They do. They need a
To
team
move
back.
to Oklahoma City.
How many years ago now?
2008.
Wow.
Clay Bennett agrees to pay the city of Seattle $45 million to wiggle out of the last 2 years of the lease.
Yeah, Seattle deserves a team that had great fan support.
And still does.
Yep.
And there's been talk, and there's a basketball no, not a basketball player. Is it a baseball player wanting to bring baseball to Seattle? I've heard Dan King, Dan Patrick.
There's supposedly baseball in Seattle. You have the Mariners. I know they're not great or anything, but don't take it away.
I mean basketball. I meant basketball.
That's like what's a joke used to be? Bring the NFL to Detroit.
Yeah. Well, the real NFL.
Yeah.
On this day in 1964, Glenn Fireball Roberts dies from injuries in a May 24th crash at 35, and that crash was at
I don't know.
the backstretch in Charlotte.
I did not know that.
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
Now, you said 64?
Mhm.
1964?
1964. I believe it was in Charlotte, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Let's see. Swede Savage, 1963. Injuries from the Indianapolis 500 passed away.
I would have thought he was a wrestler with that name.
This was one that I think Juju thought he was still alive. Ben Davidson. It was in Conad.
Yeah, the big.
Yep.
Yeah. I know Ben Davis.
He was a professional football player.
And he's dead.
He died in 2012, prostate cancer.
Okay.
At the age of 72. Charlie Sanders passed away at 68 in 2015.
Charlie Sanders. You're going to have to
Played
remind
for
me.
the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
The team that
Okay.
looking for
Yeah.
a.
Looking
Kerry
for
said
an
he
NFL
remembered that wreck in
franchise.
Charlotte.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
I
right,
don't.
Kerry. That was in Charlotte. Yeah, that was in Charlotte. See
Not in
if we
64, I
see
don't.
if we got a few. How about the King was born on this day in 1937?
How about that?
Richard Petty,
So that makes him
4.
84.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was doing that math in my head.
Happy birthday.
Charlie Walker always said I should never do that, but I never could help myself.
Yeah, I do it too. But yeah, the mistake would be embarrassing.
How about Jose Canseco?
he got injected on this date?
He got Cuban American MLB outfielder and designated hitter, was born in Havana, Cuba.
On this day, it's his birthday.
On this day.
You know, he's the one
57.
famously came out and said he injected Rafael Palmeiro, and Palmeiro denies it to this day.
Yeah. Who you believing?
It's hard not to believe the injector.
The injector. That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's a pretty good day's worth right there.
Have a great
And
day.
It's July 2nd.
July
Is that where we're
2nd,
at?
all day.
Yep.
Have a great day. Listen to the thunder. If you hear thunder on July 2nd, it's going to snow in 10 days. Have a
Somewhere.
good. Y'all here in the morning?
Yep.
The boys will be here in the morning at 8 o'clock. Tune them in. Have a good one. Have a happy 4th.